Whenever you get on social media, you see all these fitness influencers with abs that look like this. And you think, I want to get shredded, I want to look like that. And then you do, you lose a ton of weight and your abs look like this. And you think, why don't I look like them? How lean do I have to get? Let's take a look at why your abs don't look the way that you want them to. When it comes to abs, there's a few things you gotta know. First off, your abs are just like every other muscle in your body. Take the arms. Yeah, there's muscle there. When you flex it, it's a lot more noticeable. The same thing with your legs. It's just a big mass of muscle. But then when you flex it, oh, look, there's muscle there. So abs are the same way. You have to flex them for them to be noticeable. So when you just take your shirt off and you're chilling somewhere, you just look like this. Like you can see an outline of abs, but until you flex them, you're not gonna really see them. And then there's a lot of other factors that play into that too. How lean they look, how much water you've drank, if you're feeling bloated, how much food you've eaten. If you just got up in the morning, you're dehydrated, they're gonna look vastly different throughout the day. But how you flex them makes a big difference too. So I've seen people a lot where you say flex your abs and you just kind of push like this, kind of like if you're sitting on the toilet taking a dump. You're just pushing out. And yeah, you can punch them, they're a lot stronger and tighter, but that's not the most attractive look for your abs, even though it makes them stand out some, but it also pushes your stomach out. So what you can actually do is like suck in some and flex them, and then that brings the outline of them out more. But what really makes a huge difference is when you can see the obliques, and you have to flex a completely different way for that. The way I describe it is kind of like you're sucking in the transverse abdominals, what's below these main abs. You're kind of like sucking that in hard and then pushing down your abs. And watch the obliques when I do that, okay? So, and now you got obliques all right here, you can see. It makes everything look a lot more shredded. You see the side pose that people do like that. It makes your obliques really stand out. But the thing is, if you're out on the beach or something like that, are you gonna be like holding your breath and walking around like this all the time so that everyone sees your abs just like you want to? Probably not. That's not gonna be comfortable, and you're gonna look like a weirdo, and you're gonna be uncomfortable. And you gotta keep in mind that first off, no one really cares about how your abs look besides you. And like even when you have abs like this, you sit down, your stomach's gonna stick out and things like that. You're not always gonna look like that. That's why these influencers post pictures. They have videos where you get the lighting just right. And that's the next thing is lighting. So you see right now, I have this light coming in from the side, which creates shadows. So you can see all this, right? But what happens if we change the lighting? Now we're looking straight on and you can still see the abs, but it's completely different. When I flex, like everything's kind of washed out because there's no shadows because it's direct light. I'm doing the same type of flex, but you can't see the obliques as much and all that because the light is coming straight in, it's flat. If it's the middle of the day and you have light directly overhead, you'll have some shadows underneath. So the way you look is really gonna depend on the lighting. And people say, well, that's not real life. You know, if it's just lighting, maybe you don't really look like that. It's like, no, you do really look a certain way, but light is what brings it out. That's why if you look at the way people look in a movie versus if you just pull out your phone some random middle of the day and take a video, it's not gonna look cinematic because cinematic is about lighting. It's about shaping how the light looks. So when people are posting online, they're getting that stuff just right so that they look a certain way. Like when I'm going to bed at night, I've eaten all day long and I'm kind of more like, oh, I'm full, I'm like this, and the light's flat. You don't see your abs as much. But again, no one really cares that much, but I wanna let you know this because I remember when I first got into fitness, I was like, man, I want my abs, ooh, to look like that, like all these folks. And I got really lean and they still didn't. And I was like, what in the world? Like, I guess I'm not lean enough. No, you're lean enough. You're just not in the right lighting. You're not posing in the right way. And you're not gonna be walking around like that all the time anyways. Because most of the time in life, unless you're on the beach or probably in the bathroom by yourself, you're gonna have a shirt on. So it's really not that big a deal in the end anyways. But if you have any questions, post them down below. Hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you soon.